Hello everybody, I hope you all are having an absolutely amazing day today. If you're new here, hi, I'm Liz, aka My Pastel Past, and I'm back with yet another speed build. Today is, I believe it's the second to last build of this island before it's done. So it's one of those bittersweet moments where I'm realizing, oh my gosh, my island's almost done, but also I'm super excited to see it completely finished. So it's one of those really awkward moments for me. It's like bittersweet. But for this build, I am working on the top right section of my island. I put up a villager house. I haven't finished Happy Home Paradise to the point where I can customize villager houses, so I'm gonna probably grind on that this weekend so I can fix some of them, because this build is supposed to be kind of like a farm slash winery. Now, my island is very pink and pastel themed, so this brought a lot of challenges to me trying to figure out how on earth I was going to do a pink barn, especially since I'm already on the third cliffside. So what I wanted to do was add simple panels on the next cliffside up for this barn that I'm working on right here. When I realized I couldn't, my vision was ruined, so I had to fiddle around with it. That being said, in case you missed it, the last video that went out, I actually showed how I did this barn panel design that you see right here for when I'm building. It is the first custom design I have ever done, so I know it's not great, but I'm kind of happy with how it is for the very first design I've ever created. I think it turned out pretty well for my first try. So yeah, if you want to see that, I'll be sure to leave that down in the description below. I'll probably never ever do a custom design again because it was a headache to try to do the first time. But who knows, my mind might change and I might try to do another one day. But once that barn's built, I'm kind of outlining the area for where I want the farm to be. I was debating whether or not I wanted to use some of like the vegetables to plant here or what I was really going to do, because I was torn. My island is very pink and we don't really have any pink fruits or vegetables that I can plant or work with. So I tried to incorporate as much pink as I could, especially with the trees, on the offhand that I couldn't figure anything out. What I ended up doing was trying to do a mix of using flowers, hedges, and the barbed wire fence to kind of make like a vineyard. So I ended up making almost like a winery slash vineyard here more than a farm. And the tricky thing with that is that we don't really have any pink bushes, especially because I'm in cherry blossom season for this. I don't have any shrubs or bushes that are in bloom, so it made it a lot harder. My original idea was to interwind or go back and forth between using the pink hyacinths and some bushes to kind of create that effect. I tested that out beforehand because I didn't want to be going back and forth in this video for that, and I didn't actually like it, so I did something a little bit different. I did different rows of pink hyacinth flowers with barbed wire fencing and hedging to kind of make it the appearance of like vines or fruit growing on the vines. It'll make more sense when I start on that later. Right now I'm really just working on the border, trying to make that look pretty. I'll add some more flowers behind that fence later on. But now I'm just working on layering out the path work for it. So I'm alternating with this dark dirt path, and then I have a beautiful custom design path that is of pink dirt that I'll be putting in between these darker dirt paths, just so I can place the flowers on the dark dirt and the fencing that I'll be using on the pink custom design path. That way I still have all that pink going on, but it's not like taken away. I think that was my biggest fear, was when I was doing this farm, it would take away from the pink aesthetic that I was going for. So that ended up being my biggest challenge with this. But in the end, I think it worked really well. I was trying to figure out what kind of fruit I would use. I went back and forth between strawberries and raspberries, and I settled on raspberries. What I probably should have done was use the red hyacinths, but I ended up going with the pink ones. just so it would fit my theme better. They still kind of do look like fruit growing on vines, but I'm just gonna go with the excuse that my island is magical and we have some sort of magical pink berry fruit that grows on vines here, because that's the only thing that I could figure out that makes it work with the pink aesthetic. So yeah, I can totally do that, right? That's a thing that I'm allowed to do. I can make up for it for my island. I'm gonna go with yes, because that's the only thing that really works. But I am absolutely in love with this path. It's pink, it looks like it has sparkles, and it's just, it's also a really nice contrast to all the other pink paths I have. Most of the pathing that I'm using throughout my island is a very light pink pastel path, and this dirt pink path is very bright. It gives like a hot pink Barbie feel, which I absolutely love. I think it's gorgeous, and it just like kind of emphasizes the pink dirt even more. And even at the end, it is mostly covered up by the different fencing that I use, but it still peeps through, which I think is really, really nice. I am making a little bit more of a barrier at the back of this kind of field because I am going to make a little bit of seating. I have all this room to the left of my field and to the right of my house. I am going to make that into kind of like a seating wine tasting area. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I have no idea what a wine tasting area looks like. I've never been to a vineyard. Even though I have always wanted to go to one, I think it would have been cool. But yeah, I've never been to one, so hopefully this looks like one. If you've been to one, let me know in the comments how close I got to it. But right now I'm working on the fencing. This is kind of what I meant when I said I was interchanging between the barbed wire and the hedging. It's kind of hard to see, but this was the closest thing I could make it look like for some sort of, I guess, almost like a grapevine. I think raspberries grow on vines too. I remember when I was little, my Oma had a raspberry plant outside in her backyard, and if I remember it correctly, it was growing on some sort of bush or vine. So I tried to do something similar here, but again, we're using a made-up fruit because as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's any pink berry that grows on vines. Who knows? I might be wrong. If I am wrong, please let me know, because that would be so cool. I'd be able to learn of a new fruit. But I'm just finishing up the final touches on this back area, putting that lattice fencing back. And now I'm just adding the garden wagon and a few little seating areas, because when I picture some sort of winery or like a villa of sorts, I think there would be so much outdoor seating. There would be flowers, the little garden lanterns to make it look romantic and beautiful. And it's just, this is kind of what I envision. Again, I have no idea if this is what it looks like in real life, but this is what I've always thought of. I also, whenever I picture like vineyards or like outdoor wine tasting areas, I always think of that one movie. I believe it was called Letters to Juliet. This might be like emphasizing how old I am, but I remember watching that movie. Oh, was I in junior high, elementary then? I think I was in like junior high school when that movie came out, and I remember watching it, and I think that was a villa. Oh gosh, I was so young at the time that I don't even know if it was a villa. In my mind it is. I'm going with it. So that's the, whenever I think of like a villa or a winery, I always think of that movie. And it just had a very romantic feel because it was a romance movie. So I always think back to that whenever I create these kind of things. But now I'm just layering some seating areas. I'm using some of the Pirates barrels just so I could use that sideways one as well to put some wine bottles on top, because I like to think that once the wine is made, you put them in giant little barrels, right? Totally what you do. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. I genuinely don't know if that's actually a thing or I'm just picturing something very, very wrong, but that's what I always like to think, that they would keep the wine in like barrels for it to ferment and just grow and all this other stuff. So I've added those. I will say I'm really sad that you can't customize barrels. I did try to customize these pirate barrels and the normal kind of barrels. Neither one of those were customizable, which made me really, really sad. As always, I had to put a wedding arch there, and then I even put this little bike because I thought, well, who knows, maybe the villagers wants to ride this little cruiser bike out to the villa to have some drinks. I did start placing some hyacinths. I didn't place them all at once just because I didn't have enough, but that's like a little taste of what I meant before when I said I was layering between the flowers and the different fencing. And of course, one of my villagers wants to talk to me while I'm trying to decorate and build, and I ignore them. I actually don't even know what that villager's name is. Is that bad? That's probably really bad. I should know. But I also decided to do this cute little picnic area. I think this is like the third or fourth picnic area I've done on my island. When in doubt, I'll just put a place to sit down on the ground because why not? It's cute and it's pink and it's simple. I use the cushions, the mom's tea cozy, the mom's cushion, and the mom's candle set. I think that's the mom's cushion, right? And then I just placed a bunch of the azalea bushes and pink flowers all around it, just to kind of get that cute, cozy, warm feel to it, and just kind of bring out the space a little bit more, I guess. It felt very empty. I didn't decorate the far left-hand side of the cliff in this video, just because I'll do that off camera, off recording. That's just going to be more flowers and bushes, I guess, just more nature area. But here I am planting even more flowers. So I guess maybe now it's kind of coming to the idea. I thought maybe this would look like berries on a vine. I hope it kind of gets that idea. I have no idea if I was successful at all with that, but you know what? I can hope. I think it still looks pretty good. You can clearly see the pink dirt path underneath the fences alongside with the flowers, which is really nice because it still stands out. And then just to fence it all off and to make it its own space, I'm just adding some of those wedding fence as well. I do really like that fence and I should use it more on this island. But that is the build. That is the end of my little winery / farm build. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you do like videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like the video. Let me know down below in the comments what you all think, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye!